Hello, my name is Laure Bury and I'm a contemporary British painter. I've been painting for a very long time. I was one of these children that was always drawing and painting, and I kept it up throughout my adolescence and wanted to study art, but was born around a time where that sort of thing wasn't encouraged, and so I studied languages instead, languages and literature. It was a degree that I very much enjoyed actually, and it opened up many doors because thanks to languages I was able to travel, including to Mexico. It's a country that I fell in love with, and I ended up living there after I finished my degree. I ended up living there for 7 years, and my son was born there too. I'd only been there really for a short while when I met an artist called Jaime Pizarro, who was well known there, and who took me under his wing and taught me to paint with watercolours and gouache, and trained me in this particular way of painting. And I ended up being taken on by a local art gallery in Cozumel, Mexico, and also exhibiting with the International Caribbean Festival. This gave me confidence really to continue, and after living in Mexico I moved to Mallorca, another beautiful part of the world, and I met many artists there and had my first solo exhibition. I wasn't doing art full-time because it is quite difficult to make a living from art, I'll be completely honest, and I worked as a language teacher in Mexico and in Mallorca, and whenever I had a bit of time, usually evenings or weekends, that's when I would paint. And in 1999, I moved to Devon in Great Britain, and that really was the first time that I was able to start, dedicating all of my time to art. I felt very lucky really that I'd experienced Mexico and Mallorca, and I had all these colours in my mind that I wanted to bring out. And I focused on a lot of seascapes, which were very popular, and the local landscape here in Devon. And I was taken on by a gallery in London, selling many of my paintings. I also took some courses. I think it's quite important to do that. I went to Plymouth College of Art and Design for a year, and I played around with all sorts of different media, and understood that what I really love was oil paints, and so that's really what I've worked in for over 20 years. And I came up with this idea whilst I was there about butterflies. It was a painting about transformation, and my first butterfly painting was born there, and I sort of became quite well known for my butterfly paintings, and probably did those for about 7 years. I find that a lot of my art seems to go in sort of 7-year cycles. So there was butterflies, there were landscapes, seascapes, and then just before lockdown, I took another course. This was a year-long course at the Newlyn School of Art, and whilst I was there, the birds came in. So a lot of local birds, and I do believe that mindfulness is very important. Mindfulness helps us to have peace in our mind, peace in our hearts, and if we have peace in our hearts, then we might one day be able to have peace, world peace, which would be wonderful. And I find that watching birds, observing birds, it's a very mindful exercise. It sort of takes all the rubbish out of your head, all the negative thoughts. They go away, and you feel really calm. And I like transmitting that in my art, so that I'm obviously, you know, it's a mindful exercise for me, observing the birds, bringing the painting into life, but also whoever looks at the painting has that same feeling as they're looking at the painting. It brings mindfulness into their lives. The hummingbirds also came through. So there were hummingbirds in Mexico when I was living there. I always thought that they were magical, and they have been seen, you know, in the Native American people, the Aztecs, the Mayans. They sort of saw them as the messengers between humans and the gods. They're the only bird that flies up and down and sideways, you know, north, south, east and west. And they're tiny and magical, and I've been bringing those into my art for nearly 7 years as well. And alliums, my garden is full of alliums. I'm very fortunate that I live on the edge of Dartmoor and I have a beautiful garden. I have nearly 2 acres, and that is a constant source of inspiration for me. About 4 years ago, I got COVID and then had long COVID, which was very debilitating, and had chronic fatigue. It was very difficult for me to do anything, and had to cut back on all sorts of things in my life. But I realised that what I really loved to do was to paint, and so I would keep that going, even if I only had enough energy to paint for half an hour or an hour of the day. But I kept it going. I also went down to my local river because I found that cold water swimming really helped to energize me. And whilst being down there, I was inspired by the beauty of the trees, of the birds singing, of the river, the magic of the river. And so I started to bring all of that into my art as well. So I have some new paintings that I'm developing, which are actually acrylic. They're acrylic paint and acrylic pens or markers, and they're very playful and fun. I think you can see the Mexican influence in there again. I'll hold one up for you right now. This one isn't quite finished, but as you can see, they're quite naive and playful, colourful and fun. They're also really fun to do because you do sort of reconnect with your inner child as you're playing with these particular this particular medium. And so that's what I'm developing throughout this following year, this year 2026. I'm excited about that. And in 2027, I'm going to spend a month in Greece and bring the light and the colours of Greece into my paintings. I'll be in Corfu. So yeah, I have lots of ideas, lots of projects. I feel very blessed, very fortunate, very grateful to be able to do this, to make a living out of my art. All of it is thanks to online galleries now, and I'm very grateful to artgallery.co.uk for representing me and for giving me the chance to work at what I truly love. Thank you for watching.